Husband doesn't share feedism fetish. Incompatibility? Well, I am turning to Reddit for advice. In summary, my husband does not share my fetish, and it causes me to feel badly about my body, and we are wondering if we are truly incompatible. My husband and I have been married for 10 years, and we have 2 great kids, 9 and 6. We clicked from the beginning. We did outdoorsy things, riding bikes and hiking. We were steady and wanted to get married. At that time, I enjoyed being fit, and it wasn't too hard for me to stay a size 6. I had had some good sex with partners I was very attracted to, but also had struggled with low libido with others. Sex life with my husband was frequent at first, because I was excited about becoming pregnant. There wasn't a lot of foreplay. We often just fell into it. We got pregnant and soon got married, and life was good. Something I had always kept to myself was what I did when I masturbated. By myself, I would imagine gaining weight, slowly or quickly, 20, 50, 100 pounds. And it really turned me on. I would get off to this idea whenever I felt in the mood, and I had done this since I was young too. My whole life, basically. My weight had fluctuated a bit over the years, but since being an adult, my active lifestyle and vegetarian cooking made it easy to stay slim. Weight gain was a secret thought. Except right as my husband and I met and got married, I started exploring this fetish online a bit more, and I discovered websites about it. Stories and pictures. I was excited to have my own pregnancy progression. I loved when my husband encouraged me to eat food when I was pregnant. It turned me on. Still, I didn't realize this was a fetish, per se, but I was slowly realizing as I read more online. After my 2 pregnancies, I lost weight back to about 5 pounds from when we met. But when I was fittest between pregnancies, our sex life was almost non-existent. I wasn't horny. It was hard for my husband to turn me on. And I remember thinking, gosh, I wish I could read a weight gain story and get in the mood and then have sex with him. But still, I was too shy to bring it up. When we were getting pregnant with our second, I had gained just a couple pounds of winter weight, and I was feeling frisky. I imagine my husband liked my little weight gain, and it turned me on. We had great sex. In hindsight, it wasn't the weight gain that turned him on, it was just the fact that I was horny that he liked, and he thought I was still attractive despite being just a bit softer. So after 2 kids, a pandemic, a stressful job, I had gained 10 pounds total from when we met, 135 to 145. But I was still reading weight gain stories. It was when I accidentally gained a few more pounds to 150 to 152, and I realized it was going to my breasts, but that I realized I liked actually being bigger myself, and coupled with my fetish, it really turned me on to actually gain weight. A switch flipped in my head, and I felt so sexy and turned on. My husband and I had a great sex life for a couple months, and I gained a couple more pounds, up to about 160. This is when I told my husband what was up, that I had gained weight on purpose, and it really turned me on, and it was a fetish. He said he didn't share the fetish, that he liked me most at the weight I was when we first met. He said that he found very obese people disgusting. He didn't understand this could be a sexual thing. I was pretty dejected at that news. In hindsight, I should have stopped and thought more seriously about what I wanted and what was good for our relationship. But I had set a goal to be 165 pounds, so I kept gaining. I thought as long as I wasn't super obese, it would be okay. And maybe he would learn to engage with me. Not enough communication was happening, to be sure. He thought it was a phase. I thought he would come around and enjoy some bigger curves. After being frustrated for a few months, trying to talk and reach a conclusion, I ended up asking to see other people to experience this fetish in real life. He said no, that he would try to engage more with me. He complimented my belly even though he didn't really like it. He would rub and touch my belly, which was what I wanted most. He tried, but because he wasn't into it, it was awkward. It was much more satisfying to talk to people online who shared the fetish. I kept gaining weight, becoming less attractive to him. I gained about 40 more pounds, and I was 200. But eventually he said he didn't want to engage with it anymore, and things were very tense. I know this is weird for folks to understand if you're not in the fetish. Most people are like, of course you were unattractive to him. You gained 60 pounds. But for folks into this is the sexiest thing to imagine. Yes, there are health concerns, but we accept those risks as a part of enjoying life, in the way someone might accept risk if they enjoy skydiving. There are folks who are in the opposite situation, longing for their wife to gain a few pounds and be softer and caviar, but their wives are repulsed by it. And same thing with reverse genders. Some people are very attracted to fat bodies. Please don't kink shame. In an effort to compromise, I would try not to think like a feedie and try not to gain. I told him I would try to lose weight. But it's so hard to change yourself for someone else when you like you how you are. When it's the sexiest thing to you. I tried a couple times, and when it's obvious I'm trying to lose weight, he's happy. But I told him recently I don't want to lose weight, and the best I can do is maintain. That brought up the separation and incompatibility discussion again. We have had sex many times with me as heavy as I am now, and overall I enjoy it more. Thinking of my softer body turns me on more. But lately it's hard because I know he wants me to lose. Not just maintain, but lose. What turns me on is exactly what turns him off, it seems. He has said things like, I don't want a fat wife. I don't like how you feel in my arms. You were sexiest to me when you were fit. And when I think about these comments, it's hard to want to be intimate with him. I asked how he would felt if I lost weight. He said that's what he wants. If I stayed the same, he said he doesn't like that. And if I gain more, he definitely doesn't like that. I think I'm pretty cute even as a chubby woman. I have a very nice curvy shape, big boobs, round butt, smooth skin, and a round little belly. I eat healthy, I hate fast food, and I go for walks. I just like to eat bigger portions. It hurts that he finds me so unattractive now. He is maybe a little fat-phobic, he has admitted. It's hard to try to go back to a time when I didn't want to have sex, when I was thin. While we had chemistry getting pregnant, there's not much sexual chemistry besides that. He hasn't seemed to get the hang of pleasuring me, even when I was fit, but maybe that's because I didn't understand my sexuality fully. He is cute and thin himself, but I am not that turned on by him knowing how in bed it will be very basic. What do I want? I wish he could be okay with my body because it's me. Even if he doesn't want to feed me, I wish he could enjoy how much pleasure my fatter body brings me. I have kind of always wanted to be fat. It's like I have come out as a fat person. We have talked seriously this past month about separation because of this incompatibility. I can imagine living separately. I even have an apartment close by picked out, but it feels sad to let this relationship end. After 10 years, you feel the connection is irreplaceable, but the big exception being my sexuality. I keep asking myself, are you sure you can't compromise more? But at this point, I'm not sure how to feel comfortable around him naked. Will I ever feel good again? His ideal me is now 60+ pounds away, and that's a big long struggle of low self-esteem to get to that point. But where I am at now, I like how I am, and I want so badly to use my body to turn him on, but I know he doesn't like it. I want to fully own my sexuality and not shy away. I am talking to a therapist a little bit. We have not gone to couples counseling. I don't think counseling would save it, but might help us communicate better. Has anyone experienced anything like this before? Is there something I am missing from my understanding?